Interwebs, what's going on? It's that guy, not Locks. Not Nation, good morning to everybody out there. Today, I want to talk to you guys about something that's been on my mind, and that is why dreadlocks. No, don't get me wrong. I am all for the positivity and love and support of this channel and this community. But there is times when I think like, damn, dreads suck. And these are the moments that I feel like are the biggest for that. So make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed. This is Not Nation. Dreadlocks are a wonderful thing. They promote culture, self-acceptance, self-love. They express uniqueness, individualism, strength, and roots, essentially. And there's many more things that they represent. And for all the glory and their greatness, there's times when I think like, man, having dreads really suck. So a few examples of this. For one, that's on the top of my mind. When you're driving. When you're in the car and you're driving and you have long locks like myself, sometimes when they're tied up or whatever, they get in the way of checking your blind spot. And especially when you're having to wear a winter coat. In the winter, we have seasons over here. Your hair's tied up. You got a big hood on. And you're just like, I can't see out my blind spot. I mean, that's one of the annoying things that can suck about having dreads off the top of my head. So what I do to counter that is I'll try to drive with my hair down so I can see over my shoulder. I also have blind spot mirrors in my car put in, one on the windshield, one on the reverse mirror, and then one on the side mirror, so I can actually see more of my blind spot without having to crank my neck overly to get to that position. And basically not driving with my hair tied up, because when it's in a big ponytail, it moves my head forward off the headrest. Similarly, I've noticed the same when I do yoga. Now, dreadlocks can suck sometimes when you're doing hot yoga because, for one, you sweat a bunch more and you have to rinse your scalp and kind of deal with the sweat accumulation in your locks. But also, when you're doing hot yoga, it's similar as the seatbelt situation, the blind spot situation in the car. When you're doing some poses and you're trying to stretch your neck out or you're trying to lay flat on your back, you have a bunch of hair on the back of your head that's keeping your head out of alignment with the actual pose that you're supposed to be practicing. So I'll find a lot of times during different poses or stretches, my head is out of alignment because I have a big wad of hair on the back of my head, not letting me get my spine in alignment as it should be. So I mean, that's the second reason why dreads can kind of suck. Thirdly, I think one of my biggest issues with why dreadlocks suck, or the build off, let's say like the dry skin, scalp issues. I know this comes with every other hairstyle besides dreads, so it's not really fair to categorize this as a reason why dreads suck, but maybe hair in general can suck because of the dry scalp issues and the flakiness, and just learning to come to terms with that and accepting yourself for who you are and not being worried about a flake of dandruff here or there. Like, everybody gets it. So it's really not like the end of the world when you come about having dry skin on your lock. So I definitely feel that dreadlocks suck for the dry skin aspect of it. And because you can't really wash it as easily as somebody without locks. So you're learning to deal with dandruff a little bit more than the average person. I've always felt that dreadlocks kind of suck in the sense of sometimes when you're sleeping. It can get pretty uncomfortable sometimes when you're sleeping if you don't have your hair like wrapped up, or if they're really long and they're kind of all over the place, or if they're picking up lint and stuff like that. So sleeping can get a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. I have in the past used dreadlock sleeves to help with this, to keep my hair wrapped up at night. Sometimes I wear Tams at night, but sometimes I just let my hair loose at night as well. It's not a big issue, but they can suck for that sometimes. And on the same note, long dreadlocks can suck sometimes because of the weight that they attribute on your head. You know, sometimes you're just having one of those days, whether you're not like hydrated properly or you're just annoyed at the day in general, and your hair doesn't help that. When your hair starts getting in the way, when you're doing shit, you're just trying to complete simple mundane tasks, but your hair is kind of like flying all over the place and you're really hot. Let's say it's hot out and you're sweating, and it just gets very frustrating sometimes. So having long locks can actually kind of suck sometimes because they get in the way. It is part of the game. Having long dreads, you learn to live by the rules of long hair. But I think in those moments where you're just already a little bit frustrated or infuriated over something and the long hair gets in the way, it can make you feel like, I'm over long hair, and you might want to feel like you're cutting them that day, right? But then the next morning I always wake up and be like, yeah, glad I didn't cut my locks, because that would have been pretty devastating. The last thing that I find dreads can suck is in sports. Similar to the last situation where they kind of fly in your face and everything. For me, it's like when I have to wear a helmet in any type of sport. Normally those helmets don't fit me because my head is already big, and now I got dreads on top of that to make it even bigger. Your go-karting helmet is not going to fit me. Your baseball helmet is not going to fit me. My skateboarding, rollerblading helmet fits, but I have to modify the foam inside. And then on top of that, when I'm skating, I always got to make sure that my hair is tied back and out of my face. Otherwise, I might be in the air doing a backflip and my dreads block my vision so I can spot my landing, and then that's the next thing you know. On the same note, I find that dreads can also suck while eating, because how many times, I know I'm not the only one, has your dreads dipped in your food? I mean, I'm not trying to double dip my chips, but my dreads get double dipped sometimes. You know, sometimes I'm eating soup, boom, my dread ends up in my soup. I've had dreads end up in my cereal bowl. I've had dreads end up in my ketchup, my barbecue sauce. I've had dreads end up in my tea and coffee. It happens. And it's crazy now that every time I plan on even eating something, I do one of these quick hair ties with any of the dreads randomly. I just tie them back once during the time I'm eating, and then that's it. And then I'll bring them back down again just so they're not in the way. So dreadlocks and food can kind of be shitty sometimes because you got to be aware of the length and not to double dip the dread. If that makes any sense. And that's pretty much it. Those are pretty much the reasons why dreads can suck. There's a ton more reasons why dreadlocks rule that I'm gonna get into in another video, but today I just wanted to talk about this, a little bit different of a discussion. And I want to know what you guys think. What are your reasons why dreadlocks suck? Leave them in the comments down below and let me know your experiences, because knowing this and sharing this information will actually help people realize that maybe it's not such a shitty situation after all, and they can deal with moving through this progression in the locks. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. This is Not Locks, Not Nation. Dreadlock content on the daily, and I appreciate you guys stopping by here, chopping it up, talking it up, and leaving comments about the dreadlock community, because yeah, that's what we're here to do, is grow the dreads out there and encourage people to grow their locks, especially freeform locks. And if it's not freeform, go for the retwist, go for the interlock, go for the crochet, the back comb, the rip and twist, whatever it is you feel like is comfortable for you. But all in all, your heart really wants you to freeform, and that's the truth, because it builds the most confidence, it builds the most respect, and it creates the ultimate journey. And that's really what we're here for, is the journey and not the destination. So keep that in mind, that dreadlocks is not about a destination of having locks. It's about the journey to it. Same with life. Life isn't about your destination, but the journey along. So enjoy every step of the journey. Enjoy the crazy stage, the baby locks, the awkward stage, then the matured stage, and then the elderly stage. Embrace it all. I'm going to sign out. Peace out. One love. Stay happy and natty, and I'll see you guys in the next dreadlock update. I'm gone. Adios.
The nation.